Can Super Mario save the day once again? Find out next. How's it going, fellas and files? This is Dominic from Film Overload, the channel where we talk about movies, pop culture, and everything in between. Yes, I've been gone for a little while, but I am back, hopefully making more content in the upcoming weeks. And I am back today with another video. And today I went to a double feature at my local cinema, and I'm going to talk about one of those movies right now, which is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Nintendo was a big part of my childhood, and after that massive opening weekend that this movie had, I just had to go out and see it. And I was generally surprised by this movie. Now, I have to admit, when they first announced this project, I was very skeptical of the idea. I was thinking to myself, will this work? Will the animation look good? Will the voices sound right? Will it be a disaster like the live action film that we got? A lot of questions were circling when Nintendo and Illumination, their partner for this movie, announced the project was going forward. And I think they really proved the naysayers here with this film. This is a lighthearted family film. It has a lot of great references from all the years of Nintendo. I think that everyone can really pick out and enjoy. And I think all ages here can really find something in this to really kind of latch onto, which I think will make the movie a very popular one in this upcoming movie season calendar. Now, I want to get the negatives out of the way first because there are more positives than there are negatives. But there was a couple of things that kind of caught me off guard just a little bit that affected my personal experience in a negative way. The first one being, there's a couple of scenes where Illumination goes a little bit overboard with the humor, and they're kind of known for that over-the-top humor, i.e., Despicable Me and Minions and all those movies, and it kind of trickled its way into the Mario movie. I personally could have dealt with a little bit less of the over-the-top, kind of unnecessary kind of humor. It kind of belittled some of the scenes and some of the story beats, in my opinion, but it didn't really take away overall from the story. So I guess if you were like a small child or you like that kind of humor, then you'll have no issue with it. Me personally, I just found it to be a little bit too over the top at certain points throughout the course of the film. The other negative they had with this movie was that there was one particular character that did not really make an appearance in this movie. And I don't want to say it because that is spoilers, but I was kind of disappointed that this character didn't have a part at all in this movie. I was really looking forward to seeing this particular character in the movie, but they didn't really have a lot of screen time, if any, at all. And I won't really say anything more because it's kind of a spoiler, maybe, but yeah, I just was kind of disappointed that this character didn't really make an appearance in this movie. So that's all really I'm going to say about that. Alright, on to the positives of this movie, and yes, there is a lot of positives in my honest opinion. The first one being the animation. I was a bit skeptical when they announced this movie, on top of Illumination doing the animation, but I can safely say this movie looks really, really, really good. I was surprised by how good this movie looked, and Illumination really took it upon themselves to create this vast world, that really large world of the Mushroom Kingdom, all the different worlds throughout the course of the different Mario levels and worlds, and I think they really knocked it out of the park in terms of animation. There was never a moment where my eyes weren't looking all over the screen because I wanted to see every little detail that they put into the movie. Like, the animation is that good, and I can safely say that the animation in this was really, really done well, and I really hope that Illumination can really continue to make these movies that are super immersive, because I really liked what they brought to the table with this movie. Another positive for me personally was the voice talent of Chris Pratt. Yes, I know we were all hoping for the guy who actually voices Mario in the video games, to play him in this movie. But I think Chris really took it upon himself to create a a balanced medium between the nostalgia factor of Mario and then also bringing in like a new, fresh perspective on the character. And for some, yes, that'll be extremely distracting. His voice will be very distracting, especially if you've been playing Mario games for years and years and years, because you have that particular voice ingrained in your head. But I think Chris really, brought a new dimension to the character that I didn't know was there. So personally, for me, it didn't really bother me that he was voicing Mario. There were a couple of moments where it was like, oh, I wish it would have sounded a little bit more like the game. But I think really Chris really did what he did and did what he could with the script, and I think overall he really, I thought, voiced a pretty solid Mario in my opinion. And that goes for the rest of the voice cast as well. Anya Taylor-Joy plays a really solid Peach. I didn't even know it was her the entire time. She's just that talented. But I thought she really added a whole nother layer to Peach as a character. I thought Jack Black played a great Bowser. I thought that Keegan-Michael Key, who plays Toad, was really solid as well. Even Seth Rogen, a couple of moments here and there of his Donkey Kong was pretty funny. Just overall, I think Nintendo really brought together a pretty solid group of voices to breathe life into these characters, and I think that really just elevated my experience with this movie as a whole. And finally, I really appreciated all the Easter eggs and references that Nintendo put into this movie. They didn't forget us older people. I mean, I'm not old per se, but they didn't really leave anyone out of this movie. From younger kids to to us adults now. They really threw in a lot of really solid Easter eggs and references from their vault of different video games and different franchises. I won't go into any of them because I really think you need to see them for yourselves, but there is a good helping of Easter eggs and little references from all the Nintendo video games throughout the course of the years that are in this movie. So shout out to Nintendo for really giving us a good helping of references from their games. Overall, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is a really solid movie. I was not expecting to enjoy this movie that much, but I did. I went into this movie skeptical and came out genuinely surprised by this movie. I really enjoyed what Nintendo and Illumination did here, and I think that this movie really could have some legs in terms of box office. I think this could really last quite a long time in theaters because it's just that rewatchable of a film. In terms of awards, I can really see this movie come Oscar season to get some buzz for animated feature, but it has some very stiff competition with Pixar's Elemental and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. I forgot the official title, but you get my point. I think that this movie could have a chance to maybe do some damage come award season as well. If you liked what you see, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and turn on the post notifications so that you guys can get notified every single time I post a video. You can follow me on Letterboxd, which is right here. I post all of my movie reviews on Letterboxd as it helps me keep track of movies that I have watched, movies that I will watch, and movies that I haven't watched. And I think you guys would benefit greatly from this website and this app if you are indeed budding lovers of cinema like myself. As always, guys, happy movie watching. Take care.